Hey, good afternoon. My name is Jamie, and I am with the Southwest Ohio Assistive Technology Consortium through Hamilton County Education Service Center. I am excited to share with you today the use of subtitles within Microsoft PowerPoint. To install the Microsoft Translator add-in, visit this website, the Microsoft download page for the presentation translator. Once you visit that, select the button to download and add it in, and then select Run. If you would like to have your students participate, then it is required that they also download the Microsoft Translator app, either on their Windows 10 device or an Android or Apple device. These steps I will review later in this presentation. To use the subtitles within the PowerPoint presentation, as you see below, it will require you to have a microphone or to use the computer's microphone. Right now, I am using the computer's microphone, and as you can see, it's working okay. You want to open up your desired PowerPoint presentation, and then from the top ribbon, you're going to select the slideshow. From that navigation bar, select Start Subtitles. If you are a first-time user, then you'll have to accept the terms and conditions. This is the screen that will appear. From the drop-down bars, you want to select the language that you will be speaking and the desired language to display the subtitles. We recognize that the box next to the we recommend selecting the box next to customize speech recognition. This allows for your computer to use artificial intelligence to scan your PowerPoint presentation to pick up the language that is included in there and add it to the dictionary so that the subtitles are more accurate. A new slide will then be inserted before your first slide in your presentation. This will display a QR code and instructions in the language that you selected. This is the code that is required for your students to follow along on their own device. Again, I will review this later in this presentation. But then as you speak, the words will appear at the bottom of the screen just as they are on mine. There are special presenter tools that you can see on the navigation bar, and you can also see on my screen. While presenting, the presenter is able to mute the microphone. By selecting mute, as you see that I just did, it is paused and is not picking up what I am saying and transcribing it below. It is recommended that you select mute rather than selecting pause or stop translating from the three dots. By stopping the translation, the transcription and everything that was previously said is unable to be saved. By clicking the three dots while presenting, the presenter is able to save the transcript of what was presented. This is saved in a .txt document, so not a Word and not a Google Doc. And this document can then be shared with students if necessary to review at a later time. This next slide just shows an example of a transcript that I did earlier, just reading a children's book. It is actually possible to stop the presentation without stopping the translation or subtitles. This is done by using your presentation tools. As you can see, I'm highlighting them in the bottom left-hand corner of the slide. I'm going to click on the 3 dots, and I'm going to select End Show. As you can see, it has ended the slideshow. However, the transcript is continuing to show at the bottom of the screen. This could be useful if you were needing to show or navigate on another screen or a website in order to enhance your learning or your teaching. In order for the students to follow along with the presentation or the captioning on their own device, it is necessary to download the Microsoft app, which is what I have pictured here. It is easiest to search this from the Windows icon located at the bottom left-hand corner of your Windows screen. Once you have downloaded the Microsoft Translator tool, these are the screens that you will see and that the student will need to follow in order to join the conversation. This first screen is your main screen. The second screen is where you select the icon at the top that has the 2 people, and that is going to be where you can join into conversations. From there, the student will select Next, which takes you over to the Join Conversations screen. This is where you enter a conversation code. And as I had mentioned earlier, this is found on that first slide in the PowerPoint and entered into that box. As the teacher is presenting and speaks, a live caption will appear on the student's device and looks like this. It is possible for the student to save the transcript, just as the teacher was able to save the transcript. When the teacher ends the presentation, this will appear on the student's screen, and they have the option to then save the transcript. This transcript will be saved in a .txt format, and here's an example of that. The thing that is different between this text and the teacher's version is that this has both a recognition line, as you can see here, as well as a translation line. This may be confusing for some students, and in that case, the teacher's version of the transcript may be more beneficial. This is an example of what a student's screen could possibly look like. I have done this in split screens and made this so that both of them are minimized screens where I can manipulate them and select the size of each screen. On the left is the presentation. So if the teacher were to share the presentation with the student, they could follow along on the left. And then on the right, the student would see the live captions displayed on their screen as the teacher is talking, as well as have the captions appear maybe in the front of the classroom, just as they are on your screen at the bottom. It is actually possible for the teacher or the presenter to completely bypass using PowerPoint. This may be beneficial for some of those schools or teachers who would prefer to present in Google using Google Slides, or if they are just presenting without using a PowerPoint. And this is done by the use of the Microsoft Translator app, either on the Windows 10 device or on an Apple or Android device. Note that the transcription may not be as accurate because it is unable to use that artificial intelligence that I spoke about earlier in order to create that dictionary or a reference point for the captioning. However, it is a good option. You would just have to have both parties have the app available to them. The presenter would select the presenter mode from the settings gear and icon in the upper right-hand corner. And then they would scroll down to find that sharing code, which then the students would put in as the audience. So I hope that you have found this interesting and found that maybe you have a new tool to share with students who may be hard of hearing or who may speak a different language than you do. One of the things that I like about the Microsoft translation tool is that it does add in punctuation. And it's not completely accurate, as you see from there. However, it is better than a stream of text that is hard to decipher where those breaks and pauses are without the punctuation. So this may be a good option for you and your students, and good luck. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.